Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Hornby hobby. Something a little bit different today. So in the last video that we did, the layout update part 3, I said that during building this layout I've learnt a lot about building layouts. And since I did a video the last time I built a layout saying what I've learnt, you know, do's and don'ts, etc., I thought I'd do one here. You'll be happy to know that I don't think, don't quote me on this, that I've made those mistakes again. But I've definitely made some different mistakes. So we've got Ivy on the track with a couple of BR coaches. She's going to run around while I talk. There we go. This is at a comfortable speed. Right, so one of the first mistakes that I made with the original layout was that I put the ballast down first, and it made the tracks cockeyed, as we say. So that's the reason why a lot of engines were derailing on several sections. You may remember that. I mean, funnily enough, my old Ivy, my old Hornby Railways Ivy, that got thrown on the floor as a result of that. Because that corner, since I had them going around that way, anti-clockwise, it was especially bad on the level crossing, and that's what was doing it. You know, the track was dipping away from the wheels. The front pony, no, it's, yeah, ponies lead, bogey trucks follow. The front pony, or the front bogey, whatever you want to call it, would come off first. That would then lead to the driving wheels coming off, and me getting frustrated, and, well, we all saw how that ended. So you'll be happy to know that I don't do that anymore. This time I've learned tracks first, then ballast. Speaking of tracks and ballast, another thing I've learned is if you use some form of underlay, whether that be cork or ply or MDF, if you use some kind of underlay beneath your track, be prepared to spend twice as much money buying bags of ballast to cover that up with. I'm sure you know why I put the underlay down, was so that you could get that natural verge. You know what I mean? You know when you look at railways in real life, they often have like a natural verge to the ballast. The ballast kind of slopes up to the track, or rather it slopes away from the track, depending on which way you look at it. I probably could have achieved that with just putting the track straight down on the board, but hey ho, we live and learn. So I've learnt that, but on the plus side, everything's running much more smoothly on this one. Anytime I run engines, the amount of derailments I have is next to nil. I mean, yeah, we do have a few. That's gonna happen on model railways. I've learnt another thing, that when it comes to ballast, the type of glue you use is also quite vital. What I've been using for the longest time was like a literal washable PVA glue, and that's the bog standard glue that you get in schools and stuff. It's like proper runny. The glue that I've been using recently, which is also PVA glue, but it's a lot thicker and it creates a film. I mean, you may have noticed it on this coal truck especially, and it does it in parts on the ballast. And what I've had to do there is literally paint it. Literally just paint over it. I mean, it's especially evident along these two tracks there. You might even still see a little bit. You may have even seen a bit in the layout update part 3 video. So, type of glue you use matters. Moving away from tracks and ballast and so on, I've also learned that any progress is good progress. I.e., for the longest time, a lot of this was just bare baseboard, with some tracks pinned on it. And it wasn't until recently that I put the paint down, and that, helped me to see the vision come to life a bit more. It kind of kicks you into gear. If you can just get a little bit of paint down and decide what's going where, i.e. children's playground, a little bit of a nature walk, massive cluster of trees, overgrown siding, etc. If you get that done, then it kind of gets the cogs working in your head. What else? I can't even remember half the stuff that I said in the last things I learned while building layout video. Those were the main things, really. Especially the ballast thing. I mean, true story. I was looking in the YouTube Studio app yesterday, and I saw a comment from someone on the how to ballast, or rather how I put down ballast, and says, "Oh, that's not how you do it." And I know that now. I realise it, but you're not supposed to put the ballast down, then the tracks. Okay, I've learned. I mean, Ivy's working so much better, and so are all my other engines. They're working so much happier and so much better because it's tracks on ballast. Well, you get the idea. That's running smoothly than any engine I would have ever had on the old layout. I mean, smaller tank engines, they were fine, weren't they? I mean, Oliver never derailed on the old layout. It was always the bigger engines, i.e. Ivy, that would derail. But we've sorted out those problems. And it's a real learning curve when it comes to making layouts. It is a proper learning curve. Another thing, you just thought of this, track geometry. I knew nothing about it when I first started, did I? I mean, I'm pretty sure I had some tight curves on the old line. We had basically the same setup as this, with the 2 loops, and then station yard in the middle. I've pretty much forgotten how the old layout used to look. I've completely forgotten it. But I do remember that, especially on the tight curves, Flying Scotsman especially would derail. And that's because I never learned track geometry. Now though, at the very, very, very beginning of this, when it was a concept, I laid out the track on the floor and I learned the track geometry. I was like, right, what's 606 or whatever? And I'd look it up and write it down, whether it was first, second, third, etc. So I'd know which ones to use. And that's really helped massively. And there's still clearly a lot of work to be done on this layout. But it's progress, and any progress is good progress. So, I mean, I didn't have to get up once to sort Ivy out. So that's got to be a good thing. One thing I did also manage to sort out, I don't know if I ever showed it on camera, but anytime, especially Ivy, went over this set of points, the front bogie, pony, whatever you want to call it, would always jump the track and she'd just go straight on to here. On closer inspection, there was a little bit of flashing on the frog, on the insulated part. Flashing for those who don't know what that is, it's basically an extra bit of plastic. You can often find them on sprues. It's just like this little tab of plastic. You can easily scrape it off with a knife or something. But sanded that back and it solved the problem. I was testing Ivy for a good 10 minutes yesterday, and she'd go happily backwards and forwards over that set of points, no problem. So that's another issue sorted. So yeah, so those are the things that I've mainly learned while making this layout. Probably not anywhere near as many mistakes as I made with the original. But you know, we live and learn. Mistakes are a part of it. You know, I mean, think about how many mistakes Thomas made on his first day on Sodor. He thought he was cock of the walk. I mean, we see it in Adventure Begins. He makes mistakes, but he's learned from them. And he's a much wiser engine because of it. And it's the same with building layouts. Your first layout isn't going to be perfect. It's like a pancake. It's never going to be perfect first time. You'll always get that dodgy looking one. But from that, you can learn. And I learned a lot from both these layouts. And I'm looking forward to getting this done. I really am. And having it operational, and I've got stories planned for it, and so on and so forth. Can't wait to see it filled in a bit more. So hopefully it won't, fingers crossed, touch wood, that it won't be too long until layout update part 4. But that's it for this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment and subscribe. Always much appreciated. Let me know down in the comments, A, what you think of the layout. B, if you think that I've missed out any mistakes that you've noticed that I've made during the course of this construction. And 3, or C, let me know what I can put in certain places, i.e. the shed yard. I don't know what to do there, whether to just have this massive rock structure or something. I don't know what to put. But the rest of it I am really happy with so far. And it's great to see good feedback. So thanks guys for sticking with me throughout this. But that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment and subscribe. Always much appreciated. And until next time, stay safe and thanks for watching.